Good morning, good morning, good morning. Are we awake? Wonderful. I'd like to welcome everybody here. If there's anybody new with us, we'd like you to get a welcome pack back at the welcome desk. If you'd like a tour of our grounds, we would love to take you around. We have a beautiful campus. So just meet us up here after the bell and we'll take you around. I'm Christy Carr, and I'd like to welcome you to the center where we inspire and empower people to live spiritually fulfilling lives. If you'd like a treatment after service, the practitioners, Mary and I, will be up by the bell after service, and we'll do that with you. I'd like to thank all the people in service today in all the many different ways. And now please turn and wave to the camera, and then wave to your neighbor. I'll say hi to each other. Okay. Now, please I'd like to invite you to turn off your phones. And now I'll invite Dalton up for a song, and then Cher will come up and read some announcements for us. Dalton?
The day of the Lord, when the divinity returns to us, when living our free will, and with all the power of our spirit, we decide to live our lives in free communion with God, with no expectations. We will live our lives with gratitude, love, loyalty, and justice, beginning with ourselves and continuing with our brothers and sisters. We will respect all creation as the symbol of our love communion with the one who created us to the eternal happiness of humanity. If you don't know this one, you'll pick it up quick. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening, we are opening, we are opening, we are opening. Sing along with me now. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening, we are opening, we are opening, we are opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening. 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 Hey, hey.
Well, hello, beautiful people. It is great seeing you. I've got some focus announcements. A reminder that this is all new carpet and the only beverages allowed in this room now is water. And I want everyone to know that I was the first one that spilled my water bottle right after the carpet was installed, and you can't even see it. The bookstore needs volunteers. So if you love books and you love being in service, just contact Lori or Jen in the office. If you're interested in a class or workshop, we always have everything listed in the foyer. And please make your intentions known by signing up on the sign-up sheet. This is extremely important. And the reason it's important, if there's no sign-ups, that class may be canceled. We don't want that to happen. So always come by the welcome desk. I'll welcome you. We can talk about the events that are going through the center. Today, very exciting, is an expressive art workshop with Bobby Copeland, 12:30 to 2:30. She's been busy setting up. Bobby, can you stand? Art is your expression of the divine, and it's always perfect every time. Tomorrow, Monday, 7/13, is the book club with Robin, and the book chosen for this is The Soul of an Octopus. Fascinating, by Cy Montgomery. Books are available for purchase in the bookstore, and the bookstore will be open after the service. Please read chapter 1 before the first meeting. Men's group will be meeting Monday on 7/13 from 7 to 9 p.m. And this is very exciting. We have a Science of Mind magazine study group, and our very own Reverend Lisa is going to lead it. And this is starting every Tuesday. I'm so excited about this. Every Tuesday, starting July 14th, 11 to 12:30. In the social hall. It's like having lunch with Earnest Holmes. Gather around with Lisa to enhance your morning spiritual practices. All levels of understanding, newbies and oldies, like me, I'm an oldie. Magazines are available for purchase in the bookstore now. On Wednesdays, starting July 15th, Hatha Yoga with Silky is beginning. And this will be held in the sanctuary right here, 5:30 to 6:45. Registration deadline is 7/10. So I know we're past 7/10, but check and see if the sign up is still out there. If you plan to attend but have not registered, and if the sign up sheet isn't there, please talk to Jen. Jen, raise your hand, stand up. This is Jen, beautiful Jen, here to help you. Dance into your divinity, something that will renew your inspiration and your spirit. By the way, inspiration means in spirit, so you're dancing with spirit. 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in the sanctuary. And this is going to be every Thursday from July 16th to August 6th. Join Lisa for this 4-week class using dance as a powerful spiritual tool, build confidence, mobility, spiritual connection. Lisa will be using her interpretations of the 5 rhythms, dance your own skill level. Let the Spirit move you. Next Sunday, July 19th, after the service, there'll be a CPR and a AED class offered for free. However, you must pre-register. The sign-up sheet is important. And there's also our SOAR event that will be leaving here, carpooling here on Saturday. And there was a wonderful special that Disney did, the 7 Wonders of America. We have one in our own backyard, Lassen Volcanic National Park. We're going to Bumpus Hell. And it's going to be heaven, not hell. The weather looks good. And now, the reading? Okay, okay. I was going to dance, but I left my bow at home. Okay. This is the spiritual reading for today that Reverend Lisa has picked. To attract abundance in your life, see money as a flow of energy, not as a static quantity. See life in the same way as a flowing river, not as a fixed pattern of behavior. Leave your ego on the bank. Enter the stream of cosmic awareness. There are no limits to how much of life's abundance can be yours if you will plunge into the divine current and swim there joyously. And that's by Swami Kriyananda, a Hindu religious leader. I love that. Flow with the river. I've never done this before.
Let's pause, take a deep breath, go within, let everything that's been happening earlier go into the divine. Beloved presence, one infinite life, I recognize that there is only one power, one presence, one divine intelligence expressing itself as all of creation. This present is here now, in sacred gathering. It fills every heart with peace, every mind with wisdom, and every soul with love. I know that we are united in spirit. As we open this service, we release every concern, every distraction, and every burden in the loving care of the divine. We awaken to the truth that we are whole, complete, and guided by wisdom. Love flows freely among us. Joy rises us. Healing takes place naturally. Every word spoken, every song shared, every moment of silence, and every connection made is blessed and inspired. We open ourselves up to new insights, deeper compassion, and a greater awareness of our oneness with God. So with grateful hearts, I give thanks to this service as it unfolds into perfect harmony. I am grateful for every person present, for every blessing that is already given. So I release this out into the law, knowing it to be so right now. And so it is. Reverend Lisa.
It's over here. All right. Can you hear me okay? Let me get that out of the way. Good morning, everyone. It's so wonderful to see so many smiling faces on this beautiful day. I know we had nice sunset last night, too, with those clouds. So my turn now to turn something on here. And The title of my talk today is Resuscitating Our Prosperity Consciousness. I invite you to imagine something right now. Imagine somebody laying unconscious. They have everything they need around them: oxygen, people who love them, skilled caregivers, but their body has forgotten how to respond. Life is still there. The potential is still there, but what's needed is resuscitation. So today, we're going to look at how our consciousness is sometimes like that. It's not dead, not gone, just dormant. Life has not stopped giving. Spirit has not stopped expressing. The infinite has not suddenly become stingy, but our awareness may have flatlined over years of disappointment, comparison, or just plain basic habits. In Science of Mind, Earnest Holmes tells us that principle is never bound by precedent. And that means that just because it didn't happen before doesn't mean it can't happen today. We're not limited by our past actions in that sense. So today we're going to practice spiritual CPR. Next week we have physical CPR, and I hope you guys come to that one as well. They go hand in hand. They're both very important. And we're going to take a look at what the C means here in CPR, which the first one is conceive. It's form or devise a plan or idea in mind. Become pregnant with, according to Webster. I went to a minister's conference years ago, and we had this whole theme for one day. We must become pregnant with ideas. We had a lot of fun with that metaphor, and by the end of the week, we gave birth to a lot of really creative things. It was a great idea of embodying this teaching. So the first thing that we must notice is that every creation begins with an idea. Look at these buildings. Somebody first had to envision them. A little twisted, like tornado kind of buildings. And Holmes reminds us that the universe is a mental universe. Everything becomes clear in mind before we can see it in form. So not only buildings, but songs and lyrics. Think of all the incredible music that we've been exposed to. And one really inspirational thing in terms of embodying an idea, I'm sure you remember Beethoven, and he wrote his most famous symphony when he was totally deaf. So here, he said that he heard it through the vibrations. He felt it in his body. And that Ninth Symphony included the Ode to Joy, that magical one that he couldn't even hear. And he couldn't hear people's reactions to how brilliant it was. Every relationship first begins with a possibility in mind as well. Spirit creates through ideas. And through interesting sounds. So, since we are individualized expressions of spirit, we create in exactly the same way. The first question should never be, what do I have? It should be, what am I conceiving? Maybe you're conceiving scarcity. You've been brought up with the belief that money is somehow bad. What other things were you told when you were little negatively about money? Just call out a few. Root of all evil. What? It doesn't grow on trees. Yes. How many times did I hear that growing up? Any others? You have to save it. Yes. Oh, that leads into this next slide. Thank you for that one. Because, we also learned that it's a virtue to be poor. So then we have to take a look at, are we emotionally hyperventilating by clinging on to everything that we get? I don't know if you had parents or grandparents that were raised during the Depression, but they had to make use of every little thing. And it was really hard when it came time to let it go, because they knew that they had to work hard for the dollars and they needed to make it all worth something. So when we affirm these things by saying, I'll never have enough, things are getting harder. People don't support me. Things are so expensive, or I'm too old to make a living. Every one of those thoughts is a seed that we plant in mind. And the law doesn't argue. It just says, as you believe. So imagine planting snow peas. Now, there's nothing wrong with snow peas. I love snow peas. They're sweet. You're pretty. They have little flowers. But what if you're secretly praying for sunflowers? Now, you wouldn't get mad at the soil and say, oh, you stupid ground, why didn't you plant what I really wanted? But we do that with life. We argue or get upset and blame life for not giving us what we've been mentally planting for years. Conceiving abundance is not pretending. It's not affirming that you have millions of dollars or piles of money while secretly panicking and feeling broke. A little example of prosperity here. Back years ago when my son was about 4 or 5 years old, it was a really hot day in Roseville, similar to here in Redding. And I had an idea. I thought, okay, got a cute kid, got some fresh lemons, we're gonna make a lemonade stand. And we were excited as we put everything together. And then right before we did the final touches, I asked him, how much should we charge for each glass of lemonade? Well, he looked at me shocked, like I had just said the most horrible thing. And he looked up with his little eyes and said, nothing, Mommy, because we'll get back love. We gave away a whole lot of lemonade that day. Perhaps your bank account is small. Mine was a lot smaller after that lemonade stand. This may be a fact, but it's not the truth. Truth is that infinite source is never diminished. Truth is that creativity cannot be exhausted. Truth is that divine ideas never stop flowing. Think of all the ideas that have made people wealthy. If they hadn't been open to them, we would never have the pet rock. Wait, maybe that's not the best example there. Your worth has never been dependent upon by numbers. Abundance begins with a new conception of yourself. Not someone trying to give you something from God, but someone expressing God through you. Let's take a look at what Earnest Holmes says about this. He says, learn to think abundantly. Think of the vastness of everything, the limitlessness of space. Have you guys seen the latest images of the James Webb telescope? How they have billions and billions of galaxies that we've never seen that extent of. I felt so insignificant. I don't think that's the message I'm supposed to be giving up here. But anyway, the numberless grains of sand on the seashore, how abundant, how lavish nature is. Learn to see abundance in everything, to multiply the good you already possess. Be consciously one with the law of abundance. Now, I love this last line. Expectancy will speed your progress. That's huge, because when we add the emotion of joyous expectancy to something, it's like creating the juice that really makes things flow, or the magic that fills in that void. Spirit doesn't have favorites. I know, sometimes that's a bummer, because we always think that we could just ask Spirit for a little bit more. Spirit has expressions, and you're all one of them. Now, imagine carrying an acorn. It's a cute little guy. I love how they have their own little caps. I always take them off and put them back on and think they're trying to keep warm for the winter. Now, you might say, this is really nothing. It's not even an inch long, tiny little guy. Yet, hidden inside the acorn is an entire forest. Not because someone adds something later. Like, you don't go next to the tree and dig up the soil and look for bark and wood fiber and leaves. No, everything that is necessary for the oak tree is contained right within that little acorn. The oak is conceived before it is seen. Likewise, abundance begins invisibly. Pay attention to the trees in autumn. They don't cling to their leaves and hoard them. When it's time, they freely let go because they trust that in the spring, more will come. Prosperity is built into them. Let's see what the P in CPR stands for: perceive, to become aware of, conscious, come to realize or understand, interpret something in a particular way. I just realized that arrow was right in the middle. How rude. Now, once we've conceived abundance, we learn to perceive it, and this is where many people stop. They create affirmations. They visualize. Then they immediately look at appearances and say, why has this not happened? They look for immediate evidence while ignoring revelation. Perception is spiritual sight. Jesus repeatedly said, having eyes they do not see. He wasn't talking about eyesight. He was talking about that internal consciousness that we have when we meditate and align and know that we are one. Science of Mind teaches that consciousness determines experience. The world, it's not the other way around. Sometimes we look out at experience to figure out how we're going to feel that day. Well, the world often mirrors what consciousness expects to find. Holmes writes that we don't create principle, we awaken to it. Now, if you don't believe Jesus and Holmes and myself, let's go to a true genius here. Einstein says, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. I want you to think a moment about radio waves. They're all around us. The radio doesn't manufacture radio waves. It tunes into them. And when you're in your car, you don't get mad at the radio for playing country music when you want classical. You have to tune into the station you want. And that's similar to how our consciousness works. We have to tune into ideas of abundance. We don't manufacture abundance. We align with it. So what helps us perceive abundance? I love this next one. Gratitude. Think about something you're grateful for today. Gratitude changes our eyesight. Instead of asking, what's missing? Begin noticing what's already here. Breath, friendship, joy, laughter. Call out a few things. What are you grateful for today? Courage. Thank you. What else? Love. Did I hear that? You got to be loud because I'm kind of far away. Any other? What was that? Critters. Oh, yes. We have lots of critters out here if you want to adopt one after the service. What else? Family. Sunshine. I put a few cheap things up there for you to check out if you can't think of what you're grateful for. And once again, gratitude changes our eyesight. So the more we notice, the more consciousness expands. Holmes reminds us that gratitude multiplies good because it recognizes the simple things. Gratitude isn't bribing God. Although many times I'm sure we'd love to say, oh, please, God, if you just give me this one last thing, I'll never do that again. But God isn't Santa Claus or your favorite parent. God is scientific and responds to the alignment of our inner being. So it is aligning with this truth where we began to pump that universal pump of prosperity that affirms our wealth. A woman complained one day that nothing was working in her life. So someone challenged her to write down 20 things every evening. Well, at first she resisted and said, I don't have 20 things. But then she began to notice hot coffee, a comfortable pillow, her grandson's laugh, her neighbor's smile, fresh air, music. By the end of the week, nothing outside had changed, but she had. Soon, new work appeared. New friendships emerged. Was gratitude magic? No. Gratitude changed the observer. When consciousness shifts, experience follows. Now, let's look at the last thing in CPR, receive. To be given or presented with. We're going to once again feature the a quote about abundance from Dennis Merritt Jones, who did The Art of Uncertainty. And he says, circulation is a natural principle. We must learn to honor the complete cycle, because that is how abundance manifests in the form of prosperity in every area of our life. The law of giving and receiving. It can't work differently in one area of our life than another. That includes everything from the consideration and respect we give others to the hugs, smiles, and time we offer others. We call that Seva here at our center. How many of you have worked with Seva in some capacity? Please raise your hands. Wow, we got a lot of wonderful people here, and I know there are people watching too, so you can raise your hands in cyber world there, because that's time, talent, and treasure. That is also a form of abundance. Now, here's where abundance often gets interrupted. Many people conceive, some learn to perceive, but very few fully receive. Why? Because receiving requires surrender. It requires trust and vulnerability. It requires believing that we are worthy of good. Some people are excellent givers, terrible receivers. You know who you are out there. Someone compliments them and they say, oh, this old thing, just got it at a thrift store. Or, can I help you? Oh, no. I'm fine. I can lift that refrigerator by myself. Receiving is an act of faith. Imagine holding a beautiful gift. Now, you extend it towards someone, but they keep their arms folded. The gift exists. The giver is willing. But until someone opens their hands, nothing changes. Spirit is continually giving, and I had a direct experience of this when I was in the Peace Corps in the Marshall Islands years ago. Now, the Marshall Islands are very, very isolated, little islands out in the middle of the Pacific. And when Peace Corps sent me there, I thought they were trying to kill me because, there was no running water, electricity, we didn't have internet, and they were just little tiny isolated places. Fishing was kind of scarce. We didn't find a lot of fish around us. And then also planting was also difficult. So we were very dependent upon the ships that would come in every couple of months. Well, this particular time, the ship was late. And people were getting hungry, including myself. So I realized that, wow, this could be it. This is the way I go. Because no ship had come in. Well, that one night, I had a knock on my door, and it was my neighbor lady who had extended her arms, and she was holding a bowl of white flour for me to make flour soup with. She had 6 children to feed. I was by myself. So I asked her, "Why are you doing this? Why are you giving me food when you need it more?" And she said, "This is the Marshallese way. When supplies are running low and we don't have much, that's the time we give." It really touched me because they understood that law of prosperity. In fact, the ship did come in just a few days later, and I did share the flour with them. I couldn't take it for myself. So Spirit is continually giving. Holmes says, life is forever giving of itself, not occasionally, forever. So perhaps the question isn't, why isn't God giving? In fact, did you know you can't outgive God? Try it sometime. God always returns more than we could ever give. Perhaps the question is, what am I refusing to receive? Support, prosperity, love, joy, ideas. Receiving doesn't make us selfish. It makes us available. Now, I need 3 volunteers. Who feels abundant right now? I need 3 people who are okay coming up on stage. Can you share? I know you've been up here before too. Okay, right under the table, I'm gonna have you guys grab them. There's 3 different bags. Each of you take one of those bags. Thank you, Shara. Don't look in. Don't look in. Okay, now, don't look in yet. Okay, before you open them, do either of you want to trade for a mystery bag? Oh, it's a weight thing, huh? Oh,
I see.
I don't know. Okay, so now go ahead and peek in. Don't say anything about what they are. No, just open your bag. All look in. Okay. You saw what you have. Don't say anything yet. You saw what you have. Do you want to trade now? Either of you? You get 1 trade. No? Oh, you don't want to trade? You could trade with somebody else. I feel like this is The Price is Right or whatever that makes a deal. No. Okay, so tell us what's in your bag. You're trading. Okay.
I love garlic.
Oh. I don't know how to get this on.
This almost looks like an elephant head of garlic. I was just teaching someone how to make roasted garlic last night.
I think
Can you hear me now?
I don't know.
I can just scream.
She's a loud one. And
But I have a $20 bill in the basket today.
Okay. And what do you have?
Okay. I have nuts. Can everybody hear me?
They can't come over here because you guys should really be over here.
Chocolate.
Yeah. You each have 2 things. Okay. What do you have, Kristen? You could speak into the microphone, I guess.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
A Sharpie and the Qua.
I'm happy with anything, so I traded with her. Happy wife, happy life, everyone.
So now if I told you were stranded on a desert island, would you want to trade now?
I love garlic.
But what could you do with the 20? Okay, thank you very much for coming up. Enjoy the abundance that you accepted by coming up here. So basically, what we value today, we might not put as much value on tomorrow. We have certain things that we treasure. She really wouldn't be able to do a whole lot with that $20 bill on an island. But sometimes we just have to appreciate what's around us, because when a river stops receiving, it becomes stagnant. When it receives, it can also give. That's why we need to replenish ourselves and not just be the givers. Prosperity is circulation, giving, receiving, and giving again. The universe flows. Many people secretly believe abundance must be earned spiritually. I don't know if you ever feel that way, but you feel like, okay, I've made mistakes. I've missed opportunities. I've limited myself. I failed. Maybe I'm going to go to hell. Well, that somehow they've disqualified themselves from having a life of goodness. Science of mind rejects this entirely because our worthiness comes from our nature, not from our performance. In fact, the sun shines because that's its nature. Spirit expresses abundance because that's its nature. And since we live within this presence, it's our nature to be abundant, not because we've earned it, but it expresses through us. So let's look at these three things together now. C for conceive. Choose thoughts that are worthy of infinite mind. Imagine larger. Expect greater. Not from ego, from principle. Perceive. Look for evidence of God everywhere. Practice gratitude. Train your consciousness to notice possibility. Receive. Open your hands. Accept compliments. Accept opportunities. Expect unexpected blessings. And support and joy will naturally follow. And know that Spirit delights in expressing through you. Now, imagine standing outside in a gentle rain. The rain represents infinite good. Some people stand holding a bucket, some a little cup, while some hold their umbrellas up completely. The rain falls equally on everyone. The difference is not the rain. The difference is the receiver. So today, I invite you to put down the umbrella and stand in that infinite source of prosperity and abundance that's always available to you. So for homework, as a teacher, I do give homework. I invite you to practice CPR every day. First, conceive by asking, what magnificent possibility does Spirit want to express through me today? Do this every morning. Then spend a few minutes envisioning your life. And know that it is guided and supplied and supported by good. Next, perceive throughout your day. Ask, where is abundance already showing up? Notice acts of kindness, ideas arriving and doors opening. And finally, every evening, ask, what good did I receive today? Maybe it was encouragement, maybe laughter, maybe insight, maybe financial abundance. Ernest Holmes wrote, we live in an abundant universe. He didn't say, we're trying to create one, get back to us in a month. He said, we already live in one. The work is awakening. The work is remembering. It is reviving our awareness. And remembering that we truly are worthy because we were born worthy. It's our birthright. When somebody's heart stops, we restore it with CPR. But today, we restore the circulation of faith for abundance, the circulation of gratitude, the circulation of expectation and divine good. This is spiritual resuscitation, and this is abundant living. So I invite you now to take a deep breath in, and don't hold on to it. Let it go, because another will follow. And join me now in a closing spiritual mind treatment. There is only one power, one source, one divine energy. This energy is flowing through each person here, reviving our lives with abundance through gratitude, opening our hearts to something greater, allowing us to feel that connection with all that is, with that endless supply of good. And so as we feel this energetic vibration, all around us of love, prosperity. We know this energy is not confined to this building. This energy flows outward now into the greater city of Redding. It flows beyond Redding into California, and then throughout the entire planet. The thoughts that we're having right here and right now are exponentially magnified, making a difference in the world. And for this, I am so grateful. I release this now to divine mind, knowing that these words are acted upon as I speak them. And together we affirm by saying, and so it is. Thank you. And now we have music from Dalton.
There we go. And on that note of a song by my stepdad, Chris Johnson, which I hope slots together with that very well. If you can follow the lyrics as they go by, it's a little fast, but you know. You can look for God in a church or synagogue and listen to someone's monologue. If you read the right book, you may find a clue, but it's somebody else's point of view. You can take every course at the university, but it won't reveal your own divinity. If you'll only open your heart and look inside, it's true. You'll see that God is in there smiling back at you. Spirit is the seeker within, not an old man from a myth. What you're looking for, you're looking with. You can read the Bhagavad Gita and the Tao Te Ching, the Bible, the Quran, and everything. You can study the lives of Confucius and Christ, Muhammad and Buddha and the Israelites, and you'll gain a lot of wisdom and you'll fill up your bookshelf. But you still need to have that experience for yourself. If you'll only open your heart and look inside, it's true. You'll see that God is in there smiling back at you. Spirit is the seeker within, not an old man from a myth. What you're looking for, you're looking with. What you're looking for, you're looking with. You can ask those people that you meet as you go through life, your mother, your father, your husband, or wife, but the answers that they bring won't satisfy, even if you ask till the day that you die. It's a question that we all must ponder on our own. It's remembering what your heart has always known. If you'll only open your heart and look inside, it's true. You'll see that God is in there smiling back at you. Spirit is the seeker within, not an old man from a myth. What you're looking for, you're looking with. What you're looking for, you're looking with. What you're looking for, you're looking with.
Thank you, Dalton. That was your dad's song?
I am a stepdad.
That is fantastic. All right, let's lower our eyes. And as I prepare to give this offering, my heart is filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here is for my spiritual well-being. I am filled with gratitude, knowing life stays in balance, for as I give, I do receive.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I give thanks for all the blessed donations received in this offering this morning and during the week. I know each dollar supports this spiritual family in many ways. Ways we grow together, ways we pray together, and give thanks for all that this center has been blessed with today and always. And so it is.
All righty. If I could get everybody who's comfortable doing so to please stand on up, make a little space around yourselves. We got a couple more songs and then we are out of here for the day. It's glorious. I see the sun peeking through the clouds outside. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. Stretch yourselves out, establish a little space around yourselves. Hopefully so. You gotta move, you gotta move, you gotta move, child, you gotta move. When the Lord is ready, you gotta move. That's how it goes. You may be high, you may be low, you may be rich, child, you may be poor. But when the Lord is ready, you gotta move. Sing it with me now. You gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move, child. You gotta move. When the Lord is ready, you gotta move. Ooh, clap your hands. is ready. That lion's gotta move. Yeah, you gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move, child. You gotta move. When the Lord is ready, you gotta move. When the Lord is ready, you gotta move. When the Lord is ready, you gotta move. You all know this one, right? Yes, there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our one source, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. As peace begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every step